Sesame Street's iconic Big Bird has been educating children for more than 4 decades. He is an 8-foot-tall yellow bird with the heart and mind of a 6-year-old, teaching us all the value of failing and finding a way to succeed. That could also be said of the man, the puppeteer working inside Big Bird. We meet Caroll Spinney, his life's work revealed in the documentary I Am Big Bird on Newsmakers.
My name is Caroll Spinney.
Crummy!
Oh, come on now, Oscar.
I like being miserable. That makes me happy.
It does,
But I don't like being happy, so that makes me miserable.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, I proclaim this Big Bird Day in Hollywood.
I'm working the left hand of the head.
And I'm working the right hand.
Good morning, Liz.
Well, hi, and welcome to Sesame Street. You're just in time.
And that is the movie trailer from the documentary I Am Big Bird, the Caroll Spinney story. Joining me now is Caroll Spinney. Caroll, this is truly an honor for me. You and I met back in 1971.
Really, yeah. You were very young.
And my girls watch you today. And it is. It's a great moment. I get a little teary-eyed because you are a part of people's lives. Tell me about the documentary and whose idea that was to tell your story.
Well, I had been doing the show for about 40 years when they had the Copper Pot Pictures, which it's a little 3-man company, and they're all in their 30s, and they had just made one documentary, which was they call their company Copper Pot Pictures, and they had only made the one, and it was about black children in Bedford-Stuyvesant, part of Brooklyn, and they decided to make them pen pals to black kids in I think I can't remember which of the many African countries, but they had just suffered a terrible civil war. The children were all scarred from it, and so they learned so much about each other, and the film was very well done. So that they wondered, what are we going to do for our next film? And somebody suggested, why don't you do a story about Caroll Spinney? And Dave LaMattina, who was in charge of the thing, said, who's that? And they said, well, he plays Big Bird in Oscar the Grouch. And why don't you make that? So he approached Sesame Street and said, we'd like to make a documentary about his life. And this was just right time for their interest in me keeping doing it, because I've been doing it so long. And so they said, well, we'll have to see if they want to do it. It's they is me and Deborah, my wife. And so they called us, and we went down and have a meeting with them. We were immediately taken with what nice guys they are. And they presented it well, and they gave her a wonderful, happy bombshell as we were leaving. Debbie said, well, we're happy to make it. I have something that might help you. we have made archives for the last 40 years of our life together, and some of it before I was with him, and some of it's 8mm film, which looks really soft and not high def on a 60-foot screen when it's in a built theater, but it looks great because old movies people like to see them. We have tons of it. It took them 3 carloads of stuff. We gave them reels of film and videotape and all kinds of things. It took them 2.5 years to go through all of our material, and they made a story. It's a very truthful story about our life together. And it's really almost a love story because it's about Deborah and I, and me working Big Bird, and doing it all these years. It's sort of how I got to Sesame Street.
It begins with the puppeteering. Your mother made you puppets, correct?
Yes, she did. It started with me seeing a couple puppet shows when I was 5 or 6 years old, and I thought how wonderful they were telling a story with things like stuffed animals, except they could move and if they were on their hands. I thought that was a wonderful way to tell a story, and so I wanted to do that when I grew up. And so a few years later, when I was 8, I found for a nickel a little puppet of a monkey. I found out a couple months ago. I was looking through an old box. I still have that monkey. That was 1942, so it's an old monkey now. And I didn't know I still had it for years now. And so we got to tell my story, and I didn't. When I saw it all put together, I was quite flabbergasted. What a wonderful love story my life with Deborah has been.
When did you know you were going to be a puppeteer?
Well, I gave a puppet show that summer of 42 when I was 8 years old. And we had a little old carriage house barn. And we even found the old horse whip and stuff. They used to keep horse carriage because the house had been there since before 1800. And that was the only transportation, so they had their own way of getting around in the carriage. And the carriage was gone, of course. But so it was room enough upstairs for me to build a puppet theater crudely. What can an 8-year-old make? I used old cloth and stuff, and I dressed it up, and I made benches out of blocks of wood and boards. It was lots of old lumber up there, and so I made lots of stuff. And I put an ad in the local post office, see the puppet show, Spinney's house, Saturday afternoon, and probably 2, I suppose, 2 cents a head. And that was good. 2 cents was not bad money in 1942. The war was on, and everything was rationed. So 16 people showed up, including my mother, and which was, of course, it was in our backyard. And I gave the show, and I don't know what it was, with just a monkey and a stuffed green flannel snake, which my mother had made as a little present for Christmas because we didn't have much money, so she'd make stuff. I always remember, I didn't know we were poor, but we were rich in a good family life. And so she saw the show, and she was from England, and she used to see Punch and Judy shows at Blackpool on the beach for half a halfpenny. And so she decided to do a Punch and Judy show for me. She built it for me, including a really lovely little theater, which my brother Donald helped her build. He must have been pretty miserable because I wasn't his favorite person. But I still have that theater. It's too little for me to get into. But she gave me my career that Christmas morning when she revealed all the puppets under the tree and this mysterious block of a thing hiding in the corner, which she whipped like a magician, revealing. She whipped the blanket off it, and there was this pretty puppet theater with curtains and everything. And so she didn't realize that it would affect me for the rest of my life. So when I was 12, I started giving Punch and Judy shows for birthday parties. And I wouldn't do the show now because it's so politically incorrect.
Right. So how do you get from being 12 Punch and Judy shows to meeting up with Frank Oz and the whole team?
Yeah. Well, I
Jim Henson.
Yes,
Jim Henson.
that was a big.
Yeah.
I was stationed. I joined the Air Force because the Korean War came along. World War II had ended, and my mother said, "Thank God the war is over forever. Probably, we hope." That was 1945. And unfortunately, I said, "Well, don't worry, Mom. When I'm old enough to be drafted, they'll probably invent a war." And sure, there was Korea, and so the war raged on for a while. I decided to join the Air Force. Who knew when it was going to end? So eventually, I'd be old enough to be drafted, and I felt I'd rather go into the military and do to where I might have a choice of what I get to do. So I decided the Air Force would be probably the best route to that, which it was. I went to art school against my father's wishes. He wanted me to work in the factory, and he worked there for 50 years. So he was disappointed, but I wasn't. And I'm going to art school. I had put myself through art school doing puppet shows and other jobs I could get because he wouldn't help with the tuition. And he thought I was wasting my time. I always wanted television to come along, and I decided I wanted to do puppets on television. So I was stationed in Vegas, and I got to be an artist for the Air Force because I brought my art with me to basic training, and they said they saw it, and it was really commercially, it was commercial level good work because I was one of the best in the class. Just my mother's an artist, it just came easy. So I for a long while I thought I was going to be an artist when I grew up. Well, I am, but also I decided why not do both. So I do. And I got my own TV show in Vegas for $10 a week for only 3 months, and that was shipped to Europe. That ended that. But that made me, I'm glad I had a chance to do that because it gave me the guts to try to go get it a real bigger show in 1960 when I got out of the service in 57. I went to Walt Disney Studios to get to be an animator, and they said, "We'll hire you." I said, "What's the pay?" They said, $56 a week for the first 2 years. I said, "Well, never mind." And Walt had just walked in the room. So Walt Disney himself, although I never got a chance to chat with him because I had just quit, but the job I hadn't quite taken. And so as I walked out, within a few months I was making animated films in Boston at twice the amount they offered. And I worked there for 4 years until I discovered that I really don't like making animation. It's very tedious and boring compared to television puppets. So I tried out a local TV station was just opening in 1958, and so I did my puppets. My mother had built me 12 other shows to do, so I had all kinds of puppets to show. And they said, "Well, don't call us, we'll call you." And they called me 2 years later and said, "Remember you came in and auditioned? Well, we wondered if we'd like to have a summer replacement show, work with this lovely girl named, a singer named Judy Valentine." So we teamed up and became Judy and Goggle. Goggle was a big-eyed bird, strangely, kind of a predecessor to a certain tall bird I get to do. And so I did that show for the summer, and it didn't lead to that show being continued. I called it the Judy and Goggle Show, but it was dropped. And so they said, "However, if you want to stay with us, we'll put you on the Bozo Show as a once-a-week guest." Well, that grew into and more on the Bozo Show. I worked with them for 10 years and played a lot of characters. But then I decided I wanted to do something more important for children of the world, maybe. I never thought I'd reach the world from a point, which I did with Sesame Street eventually. But so I then went to a puppet festival to be inspired, and they saw my work and asked if I do a big show. I said, "Yes, I have this big production I'm working on." I hadn't even started it yet. But they said, "Well, we'll book it for next year at this next year's festival." And so I had my job cut out. I worked for a whole year. I wanted to combine animation, which I knew, with puppets, all in the same theater. Rear screen animated films shown on the screen with puppets reacting to them. Well, everything went wrong when I did the show at that next festival in Salt Lake City it was that year. But Jim Henson was in the audience, and he saw it, and everything went wrong, and kind of good that it did, because it showed that I was good at ad-libbing and handling awkward moments. And so my ad-libbing was much funnier than the stuff I'd written. And so he came backstage afterwards and said, I heard this voice behind me saying, I liked what you were trying to do. And I turned around, it was Jim Henson. I was saying, ah. And I said, well, I'm so disappointed. It was a disaster of a show. He says, no, I wasn't. He says, I've been looking for somebody like you to use on a show I'm going to be doing called Sesame Street. Everybody thinks he created the show. He didn't. He was hired by them. And so that's how I got to Sesame Street.
And then you brought to Sesame Street your creation, Big Bird.
Yes.
Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah.
Explain how those two characters created and what you hope to instill in them.
The day I met him there at the festival, he said, I'm going to build this large, goofy, silly bird and a grouch who lives in a pile of trash. Well, he pictured Oscar coming up through a trap door in the floor. Our theater didn't have any trap doors like legitimate big theaters do. It was an old movie house. They just poured cement over the floor to make it level. And so he just decided to put him into a trash can. And so that's how Oscar lives in the trash can, because he had to be up above the trash, because you have to hide the puppeteer. And so I got these two characters, and Oscar's pretty much the way he figured he was, except the color. He's going to be a purple character. It was orange. Only the first year. Beginning of the second year, I got a Hollywood gig with Big Bird and Oscar, and I pulled Oscar out of the box, and here he was bright green. I said, what the heck happened? He said, well, Jim changed his mind. He wanted it green. I said, it's funny as how they wanted it purple originally, never get to be purple. Then he went to orange. Now he's green. So nobody ever wrote letters, what the heck? How come Oscar changed his color? Actually, Oscar has ad-libbed this line. Yeah, well, if I took a bath, I'd still be
orange.
This green is mold.
Which is so apropos for Oscar.
It occurred to me one day that's what his excuse was.
How much of your emotions, your personality are in those two characters?
Well, Oscar is pretty much the way I stuck to the script, pretty much, although I get a lot of opportunity on Sesame Street, particularly in the early days, to ad-lib and add a lot to things. Right, and I would not even try them out in the rehearsal period before we start taping, same day. We rehearsed and do the scene, finish the scene, and rehearse the next part, and then do the scene. And that's how we do it. Otherwise, if we started out with trying to rehearse on one day and then taping the next, the way most TV shows are done. And it didn't work for us. We needed to get it done. So we managed to get 40 minutes of material in the can, as we call it, on videotape every day, which is a lot. And now it's so elaborate now, we're lucky to get 5 minutes on.
You talk about how elaborate it is now. You're here visiting Grand Rapids for Comic-Con, but in 1972 you were here for the launch of WGVU.
I didn't know I had been in Grand Rapids. I was with the traveling group, and we would do any appearances we could connect with PBS any place we went, because that's our outlet. And it was always great. I got to meet Mr. Rogers and Mr. McFeely, and but I didn't remember that it had been Grand Rapids, because I knew we'd been to one of the puppet festivals I went to was in Lansing. Was it Southern Michigan University, is it?
Michigan State?
Michigan State, yes. And there we saw Bert Tillstrom with his Kukla, Fran and Ollie, and he'd done a thing with help of this thing. It was the most fabulous puppet thing I ever saw.
Over time, you're the puppeteer, but is there more? Is there this mission that begins to creep in, the idea that you're teaching children?
Yeah, well, the show was created to be an educational show, but it was one of the, John Stone, who had worked with the Muppets, and he helped create Sesame Street. He said there really should be puppets, I think, on the show, and I know who they should be, too. It should be the Muppets. And they had to twist Jim Henson's arm to even accept the job, because Jim didn't want to do children's stuff. He wanted to do grown-up shows. Not a grown-up adult, very adult stuff, but not for kids. Like, he'd love to blow up people, and pull their noses off, and do funny things like that with the puppets. And he was, so, you know, when he came looking for, I had already met him briefly, but he didn't remember that. About 7 years before that. And when I saw his stuff for the first time in 1960, doing commercials, I thought they were the funniest, cleverest things, and they were only 8 seconds. Imagine, they don't do any 8-second commercials anymore. I'm surprised they don't, because they cost so much.
Right. Are you surprised by the celebrity status?
Well, yeah, I kind of, you know, for years I've been unknown. I've been called the most unknown famous person in America, because people know Big Bird and Oscar, but they don't know me or even had heard of me. Now, because of the movie, I'm known a little more. And I can tell when somebody has either seen the film, because it's so, you know, they get to see on iTunes and other things, and you can buy it on Amazon. I'm not trying to do an ad here. Sorry. But anyway, I can tell when somebody has recognized me, because they'll suddenly look at me like, you know, and I can tell what, because they don't usually do that to any old man they see, because now I've actually been doing this. I was 35 when I got the job. Now I'm in my 80s.
Did you almost quit?
Yeah, at the end of the first year, I didn't like the pay was so poor that I wasn't making ends meet. I couldn't afford to stay in couldn't rent an apartment or anything, because it cost too much, and the pay wasn't enough to pay for that. And I didn't want to sell my house in the country. I'm still in the same house. I love living in the woods. I have a gorgeous piece of land that would be terrible for a farmer, because it's all up and down and sheer cliffs and tons of rocks. But it's beautiful, great cliffs, as much as 30 feet high. It looks like a great national park, because I've worked on it for all the years. I spent most of my money from the TV stuff making the land pretty, and lots of dirt roads and stuff. I love riding my ATVs on it. And we built 13 different picnic sites, because we're crazy for picnics, Deb and I.
You are the only puppeteer remaining.
Yeah.
From Sesame Street. Are you still inside the characters? Are you just doing the voice? What's the...
Well, as of the last year, I started doing the voice and characters. I still once in a while get on the bird. For instance, I was with Jenna Bush recently. And because I don't want to give up doing the puppet thing, but on the basis, because at 82, well, I'm pushing 82 in 2 months, I'll be 82, that I slowed down, I must say. But when I can just do the script, it's just as fast and bright and full of energy as ever, because it's easy to just be whoever I want to be, and I can just get as young as I was. And I don't think many people have an opportunity to do anything young. I suppose since I'm still, Big Bird is in our story 6 years old still, that makes me the world's oldest child star.
And you've been living this message about failing, much like Big Bird typically does, right? But he finds a way to succeed. What is your life message for people in the final minute here?
I think persistence is really good. Don't give up. You know, if you have something in mind you want to do, be sure you concentrate on that. Don't let somebody discourage you, because you have obviously you're going to you're putting a lot of your mind's time in on an idea that could work. And so I say to people who have a good idea, don't give up. Don't be discouraged. You can do it. You know, and if you may, and you get rejections. I've had tons of them. trying to get into TV to start with, and before I even got on after the Vegas thing, and I went back to Boston region.
All right.
So
Caroll Spinney,
keep it up.
It's been a privilege. It's been a true honor. You are Big Bird. You are Oscar the Grouch. You have touched the lives of millions of children around the world. You've touched my life. I want to thank you for being here. The documentary is I Am Big Bird, the Caroll Spinney story. Caroll Spinney, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining us this week. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.